Hey, what's up? Happy Labor Day, world, and welcome into the OH.Report video podcast. We work so that you don't have to, entertaining the masses with everything from local area sports to pro, college, and whatever else our semi-intelligent brains can cook up. My name's Brian Skoronsky. I'm going to be kind of directing the ship here today, but I also got Hayden Gray with me as well. Tell the people something, I guess.
I recently became the dad of a rabbit, despite my best wishes. I now own a rabbit. That's all.
Yeah, I was going to say, I tried to get the slow clap going, and nobody was buying in. Didn't even seem like you wanted it to.
It's cute.
Speaking of cute, how about GMan and Storm? What's up, gentlemen?
Nothing much, just hanging out, pretty much. It's rainy, which sucks, but
I like it.
what can you do?
I like the vibe.
I like overcast, but not so much rain.
You feel like it impacts your mood when it's raining outside?
Not so much. It's just just a mild inconvenience. Just annoying.
Okay. Well, we're going to do something a little bit different today. Because this Labor Day, we don't want to work too hard here. We're each going to break up and kind of take command here for 5 minutes each. But first, we all know why you're here. It's for the Friday Night Phenoms and the top plate nominees. So without further ado, let's serve it up for the... What are we doing first? Let's check out the nominees for our Friday Night Phenoms from Week 3 of the high school football season. Week 3 of the high school football season in the books. These were the best individual performances picked up by our cameras. Phenom number 1 goes back to Scott Bailey Memorial Field, where Addison Raymer made the Fighting Scots of Highland look like some silly putty on Friday night. Totaling 22 carries for a $141 and a 4-pack of touchdowns. Raymer's now averaging 3 scores per contest, G-Man. The Cougars making it look easy too. How so?
It's been a dominating first couple games here for Crestview Cougars, and a lot of that goes to Addison Raymer. Now 9 touchdowns on the season. I'm shouting out Cougar Nation here to get him a Phenom. He definitely deserves it. He's been putting up Madden-like numbers here, Brian.
Yeah, no question about it. Anytime that you're averaging 3 trips into the end zone, you are doing something special. Coming up next on our Phenoms is Tyler Johnson, who had himself a career night boasting over 150 passing yards as well as over 100 on the ground. Oh, wait, that's not all. Johnson is the gift that just kept on giving and giving and giving with 5 total touchdowns. What a night to cap off a big Week 3 win, Storm.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I couldn't nominate Marshall Shepard, unfortunately, but Tyler Johnson was the next best thing. 5 total touchdowns. I mean, that's impressive. And with the way these K-Max schools vote on our Phenoms, I'd be very surprised on Friday night to not see Tyler Johnson's names called.
We go down to the Valley now for Phenom number 3, and it's Clear Fork senior QB Victor Skoo commanding the field with his arms, his legs, and probably against Coach Carroll's wishes, his head as well, as this kid never shies away from contact. The Clear Fork Rockslinger would complete 5 of his 11 passes, rack up 123 yards, and find the end zone 3 times on Friday, as he and the Colts would easily gallop past the Lexington Minutemen 38-7. We've got a member of the Killer Bees at number 4. It's Bellevue QB Jax Tomata Lapata, who went straight up Lagata against Shelby in a rivalry win. Coach Ed Nasani said that they had to wipe the cobwebs off of the playbook from 2007 to fit this kid's strengths, and he was beastly in a 24-9 victory over the Whippets, racking up a 250 yards in a trio of TDs, all just on the ground. He also caught a tutty as a QB. This dude was as phenomenal as some East Coast crab cakes, and that's why he is a Phenom nominee here for week number 3. Coming in at number 5 is Ashland's QB Luke Bryant, not to be confused with a country singer, but he was also making some sweet music, leading the Arrows to a 34-16 victory over Buckeye Valley in their home opener. Stadium construction didn't stop the QB from completing 12 of 25 with 190 yards and 3 touchdowns as he constructed his own home away from home in the end zone to earn the nomination, making a ton of big plays for the Arrows in the win. Now at number 6, defense doesn't usually get a lot of love on this list, but when you dominate like Landon Kurtzman did against Upper Sandusky, we gotta give him a Led Zeppelin whole lot of love for the whole lot of damage he did in the trenches. We're talking 12 tackles, including 4 sacked lunches, and made the Rams cough it up not once, not twice, but forced 3 fumbles on the night. Amazing performance by this Galleon Tiger, leading the squad to their first win of the season. Those are your Friday Night Phenoms from Week 3 of the high school football season. Make your vote count in the comment section below. And guys, we're going to be doing something a little bit different and special this week and every week moving forward on the podcast. If you comment and vote right here on this show during the actual podcast while we're live on air, it counts as 2 different votes. So go ahead, make your voice heard with double trouble in terms of your vote mattering. All right, now let's show you all the best looking plays that our cameras were able to pick up from this last week and our top plays. Top play of the week nominees from Week 3 of the high school football season, all presented by Adino Corporation. Nominee number 1 consists of a juggling show. That's right, it's a circus act down at Crestview High School. Owen Barker reeling in this tremendous 40-yard catch and showing off some great hand-eye coordination while doing it. We're used to hearing about Barker on defense, G, but this time serving up some special sauce on the offensive side of things.
This guy doesn't get enough love really on either side of the ball for defense and offense, but he's really a great tight end for the Crestview Cougars. He's a mismatch up nightmare for them down at the tight end position. Right here, reeling this in, pulling out the fishing pole and pulling it down for a huge 40-yard catch for the Cougs.
At number 2, we've got Hobie Rakes. Late in the 4th quarter, game on the line, and he's going to buy some time with his legs. And check this out. As he's falling out of bounds, he's going to heave it up to the back of the end zone, and after just a little bit of a tip drill, Gibby Wilson will come down with the football for the score. Truly amazing stuff. Storm, how is this even possible?
Honestly, I have no idea, but great football IQ there from Hobby Rakes to extend the play. Goes through all of his reads. Still nobody's open, but luckily, Gibby Wilson, right place, right time, gets his hands on it. Unfortunately, they would go on to lose the game, but still an awesome play.
Coming in at number 3, it's a fresh man. Ashland youngster Gunnar Lacey, who's going to stop Buckeye Valley from scoring on an interception. Coming up here, he's going to ice it in the end zone. Not many 9th graders make impact plays at the varsity level, but this one gunned down a Barron scoring drive with a monster play to help secure Ashland a home victory. We'll check it out one more time as the pressure beating down on the quarterback. He's going to lob it into the end zone, and the freshman is there to seal the deal. Nominee number 4, see some bodies hit the floor. You're about to feast your eyes on the human truck stick here by Galleon's Gabe Ivy. Boom! Get out of my way. He finds his wave, leaves everyone in his wake. 89 yards to the funhouse for a Tigers touchdown to seal a 28-7 victory over Upper Sandusky in an emotionally charged game for Galleon. Just look at all that sausage packed into this broken tackle by the junior, who has some jets in those piggies to scoop past all the way into the end zone. Our final nominee runs away from a pack of Bulldogs on this 43-yard rushing touchdown, soaring comfortably behind a flock of angry Eagles on his way into the end zone. This was only one of 3 trips to pay dirt for Colonel Crawford's Matt Clenard, who helped his squad cruise to a 37 victory over East Knox.
Yeah, huge night for him. Like you said, 3 trips to the end zone. This was his longest of the night. And I do want to give honorable mention to number 53, Parker Ketterman, who gets a couple nice blocks to clear the way for him into the end zone.
Make your voice heard. Vote now by commenting for your favorite play below. And remind you folks one more time that if you get in your vote while we're live on air, and only when we're live, you can't go back tomorrow or even later tonight or any other time. But if you get in your vote during the podcast, it counts ×2. I'm hearing that Tyler Johnson already off to an early lead. What a stunner, right, guys?
Not surprised.
Big shock there.
Can't believe that.
Yeah, Centerburg Nation, they certainly know how to find the comments section. Basically, all the KMAX schools. You got to give so much love to the pride that they showcase here on OH.Report, and that's why we've kind of adopted them as one of the conferences that we bring in, because they care a lot. They really do.
They usually show out too at every game. I think one of the schools that I pick for the best crowd is East Knox. So they like to show. They got great school pride down in KMAC land.
Yeah, when someone who I won't name can throw for 500 yards and 8 touchdowns in one game and doesn't win it a single time in 10 tries, it happens.
He still can't get over it.
He remains nameless, though.
Yeah, poor Marshall. We need to get him on the podcast again. Maybe he'll do some big things at the college ranks, and they'll find him on a list somewhere where he wins over and over and over, despite having like less than average games. I'm sure that the sports gods eventually are going to tip in his favor, Storm.
I can only hope.
But for now, we're going to go ahead and turn over the program to G-Man. He gets the next 5 minutes to talk about whatever he wants. None of us really know where this is going to go. We're each going to get an opportunity to kind of seize control, take command of the show. G-Man, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Mr. Host, but now I'm the host, Brian, so I appreciate the opportunity here. But I'm going to start out. I'm going to do a couple local things first. Start out with the Lucas Tri match that I was out at on Saturday with Hayden, Travis, and, of course, our director, Adam. But first, I want to take a couple glander at the first couple games. Lucas and South Central were able to dominate Hillsdale. Hillsdale hasn't won a game all year. They only won a couple sets throughout the entirety of the season against Mapleton, but they weren't able to beat the likes of a Shelby Grover and the Lady Cubs or a South Central Lady Trojans team. So Hillsdale, they weren't able to compete with some of those teams up there, but the South Central Lucas game was an incredible game. Did you see the spike right there from Shelby Grover?
Did you see that liftoff though?
Yeah, she was incredible.
Damn.
She was constantly feeding her the ball, and as they should. And as they should, but it was a Shelby Grover show, and they relied on her super late into that set. They were down 18-13 in the second set, and were able to come back and win that one and knock off South Central. So big time win for Lucas too, because they kind of beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, but South Central, a team that was 5-1 coming in, they were able to knock them off and really handle them. So shout out to Lucas. They went undefeated there in the Cub Country at the volleyball tri match. So we'll move on. That was the first segment. We'll move on to some more, of course, football. I got to go here. So Crestview, that's where I was at on Friday night with Storm. We called that game, and what a dominant showing it was. I thought I circled a couple games that I was calling this year, and I thought, the East Knox game for Crestview and Highland Crestview, I thought those were going to be the two biggest tests for the Cougars this year, and then they passed with flying colors. 35-0 against East Knox, and then 37-17 against Highland. And I even think that Highland score was closer than it even was. It was a couple late touchdowns, one from Dane Nauman at the end of the game that really the score was too close, and I think the game actually was. They shut down Dane Nauman, and I thought Dane Nauman was one of the better players in the area. They took him completely out of the game until about the fourth quarter. And Addison Raymer, we all talked about he had to fill the shoes of Connor Morris, and he's been able to do that pretty easily too. 9 touchdowns throughout the year, 22 carries on Friday for 141, a 6.4 average. And Crestvew's lighting it up right now. I think they're the team of the area. They have a chance of going undefeated, but they start conference play against Western Reserve this Friday. I'll be on the call for that one, so tune in for another Crestview Boss-Bowl win. I think they're looking that way against a team of the Rough Riders that haven't had the start that they wanted to. But now I'll jump out of the local ranks, and we'll go into some college football. That's how I spent my Saturday night, me and a couple buddies watching the game. And I think a lot of people are they're like griping on Ohio State that they only beat Notre Dame by 11 points. And, we didn't see the big flashy offense from Ohio State where they put up 44 points in the home opener. They also played a number 5 team in Notre Dame that is number 5 for a reason. Now, I know Notre Dame, they typically don't perform very well in the college football playoffs when they do get in. But that's still a known college football team that is always, in the top 10. It seems to be at the end of the season. So I think people need to, maybe take a step back, relax. They also lost Jackson Smith and Jigbo, which I think was huge. I feel like once he came out of the game, the offense, it really was a little weird. And I don't know why, because they had all offseason to prepare for this. I mean, other guys were getting shots, but I think for Ohio State, they got the two-headed monster at running back with Mayan Williams and Travion Henderson. They had combined for 175. So I think the Buckeyes are going to be okay. And, of course, it was great watching Kate Stover out there with some tremendous blocks on the edge. He was setting out there good for the Buckeyes. So he helped out in the run game too. But my biggest takeaway from that game is pump the brakes on the Buckeyes. I think we're going to be okay. We got a good rest of the schedule that I think is going to get us set to maybe make a big postseason run. And then my final topic is, of course, I got to talk about the NFL. I think I'm one of the biggest NFL fans here on the panel. Football is back, baby. It's a different aura in my mood. As soon as I woke up today, it's week 1, baby. I cannot wait until Thursday night till we finally get to kick off the NFL season. Bills travel to L.A. So many storylines in this game, too. Diggs versus Ramsey is one I'm looking at. Josh Allen versus Aaron Donald. And, of course, the Bills' offensive line, see if they can help him out. Can the Rams repeat? We got the Matthew Stafford elbow injury. I don't know if they're going to be able to do so, but this gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. I'm excited for Thursday night, boys. So that's my 5 minutes. Did I make time? I can't see. Yeah, I did.
You're early.
With a minute to spare, too. So, wait, actually, I don't want to end it yet. I got a little trivia question. about Labor Day, actually.
Oh.
Which president signed the bill that passed Labor Day as a national holiday?
Was it Taft?
No,
Was it Van Buren?
no,
Roosevelt.
no.
Is it like
Was
way?
it
Can we have a hint? Is it like
Is it
way
within
more
the-
recent than we think?
Yeah.
1900s?
He doesn't know.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I think.
Was it-
Yes.
Was it Garfield?
No. His last name
even-
is in Ohio City.
Oh, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Grover Cleveland.
So that's my
tried,
little
man.
trivia for
I
the
went
day.
through out all the oddballs that I knew.
So I'll pass it off. Who's that? Is he Stormax?
I think it's me.
Storm's
Storm.
time.
Take that baton, baby.
All right. So I started off my week at Mansfield Senior versus Madison Soccer, and honestly, that was like crazy to me. It looked really honestly like an American football game because they were just like beating each other up the whole time. Like the Mans, and so one thing that like is crazy to me about Madison Soccer, their boys team, is it's like they're all freshmen, and they're all really good. So you have like all these Mansfield seniors and juniors, I'm assuming, and they're just like beating up these four freshmen.
Now, Madison won the match, though,
Yeah,
right?
meanwhile, Madison's up 4 goals.
But at what cost?
Yeah, and I like felt bad, and then the refs, their players were like starting to get into it with refs. Everyone was getting frustrated, and I was like, they might call this game early. Like, wow, this is so physical. But Madison ended up going and winning that one, so that was a lot of fun to be at. Honestly, I really dig the Madison like actual soccer field. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
And this is kind of a thing that that I bought that kind of leads into the rest of my stuff. Was an anamorphic lens this week. So for those of you out there
This
who
puppy is beautiful.
who don't know what an anamorphic lens is, it's like an actual cinema lens. So it'll the glass element in the lens is ovular, so it's in the shape of an oval. So you get ovular like bokeh in your shot, and then you get true widescreen, like an IMAX widescreen. So that was kind of my thing that started off. And it leads kind of into my first video, and I do apologize to our producer, Adam, that I put the videos in the wrong order. So we're actually going to go to GMan and Brian's romantic date first that I got to go on. We had a commercial
Not a
shoot
problem.
at Mazza's and the pub, Kitchen and Tap, which those were 2 fantastic spots. I was actually like pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed Mazza's. Like, I was a little worried, but then we have G-Man and Brian's candlelit romantic date.
Oh, the beard scratch.
So, I forget what that dessert was called, but it was really good. But you guys were sharing it.
Tiramisu. G-Man said he had
Tiramisu.
never tried it, and if you're going to have authentic Italian, you have to cap off the meal with a tiramisu.
Yeah, so that was how I spent my Wednesday night, third wheeling on a romantic date to Mazza's.
And how about that wine that we tried, too,
Oh.
where it kind of gave us all, like,
Oh no.
Bubble
belly
guts.
goosebumps?
Yeah, it didn't go down too easy, but the other drinks I had and the food I had were really awesome. So that's how I spent my Wednesday. And then Thursday we just spent editing pretty much. Friday we were at Crestview versus Highland, but I got to spend a lot of time shooting with my anamorphic lens again pregame, so that was also a ton of fun. Crestview, they're the real deal. I think everyone knows that at this point. And sorry, there was a disturbance behind me. I was a little
Bit of an
frightened.
earthquake.
But that was a lot of fun. So that's what I did on Friday. And then on Saturday, it was Ashland Cross Country. And let me tell you something about this. Those people run hard, man. Like, it's scary at the end. I'm like, are you guys going to be okay?
It's a war hospital.
I watched, like, a girl who literally, like, was running. And, like, you could tell her legs were giving out. It, like, looked like a newborn deer or something. it was literally scary. And I was like, is she going to die? Like, I legit thought that. So that was a lot of fun, honestly. I enjoyed it. Well, not, that part wasn't fun.
Well, just seeing the kids push themselves to that extreme limit, because now
Sure.
I run a 5K 4 or 5 days a week. So it's the exact distance that they run in the cross country. They're so much significantly faster than me. I can run my first mile sometimes in like 6.5 minutes when I come out the gates. These kids do it for 3 straight miles, and they're even sub that. Some of these kids are doing like 5-minute, 45-second miles 3 times in a row, bro. So I understand why they need to like puke when they're done, or if their legs are giving out. Because I feel that way after I do 23 minutes, and these guys are all well beyond that.
Yeah, we were in the splash zone a little bit doing our interviews because there was some throw up. But no, it was actually like I was walking and I was like drenched in sweat, tired, didn't know if I was gonna make it back to my car, and just to see like some of these kids like literally give it everything they had, I was like, the biggest thing I thought of is what do you do after? It's like you just
Right.
go home and sleep. You have to. I'm not going to want to go out or do anything
No.
after I just tortured myself pretty much. But no, it was a lot of fun.
It's so fast, though. It's over in like 16 to 20 minutes for these kids. So I think they do recover. But that first initial like 5 minutes, dude, it's the same thing for me. Like when I finish my runs and I get home, like I need to sit down and reconsider like what I just did for the last 20 minutes and how I feel. So understandable. And you see how bad that dude was dripping? It looked like he was fresh out the showers conducting this interview.
For real. But that's it for me. That was my week.
So it sounds like you're really enjoying that new lens. It's been kind of a game changer for you in terms of how you're able to capture videos.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun to shoot with. It's a fully manual lens, pretty good budget option. But it's been a lot of fun, man, for sure.
And we have a lot of fun every single week. We interview kids on a nightly basis, of course. We're getting interviews for the MVPs and just talking to some of them after their contests. So we decided to put together a brand new segment for you folks that we're going to roll out right here and now for the first time. It's little clips from each interview that we have throughout the course of a week. So this was from last week. It's called Talk of the Town. Take a look.
Yeah, it's very reassuring knowing that, like, if they take a shot, we should be covered in the back. Nothing usually goes in.
Obviously a tough week for everybody in the gang community. What helped you guys get through this week?
Just honestly, we just knew that we had to play for him. This is what he would have wanted. He would have wanted to win, and we got it.
Cindy, congratulations. This is a big win for you. This is the first win in the new gym, correct? So how does it feel to get your big win here on a Saturday?
It feels really great because we just haven't won in a long time. Like, we didn't win last year or the year before. It's been a long time coming, so it feels really good.
We knew it was going to be a hard-nosed game. Shelby, it's been a rivalry for like 100 years in NOL, and my parents played in the game, so I was really excited. And the whole team knew we had to come out and play a hard-nosed physical game.
Yeah, I just like to bring a lot of hype to the team. If you keep them guys up and keep them motivated, they'll come and perform. We have a lot of studs on the team, a lot of aggression. This is one of the most aggressive teams that I've ever played with in my life. And when it comes down to it, we just have a really aggressive team as a whole. And I play outside linebacker and running back, and I know that every guy, all of the 10 guys on the field, they got my back at all times.
Well, we've faced a lot of adversity this year. One of our seniors got hurt even before season started. Our librero's sick, and Marissa got hurt during warm-ups for Hillsdale. So the underclassmen really just stepped in and filled in their role, and I'm very proud of them for doing that. We're finally over 500, so that was our goal, and we're just hoping to keep pushing the energy into next week.
We use our strongest hitters the best, and I think Coach considers us to be the strongest hitters. So, I mean, it's really good to get the ball almost every time and know exactly where to put it and go around the block and everything. But I say it's pretty good to keep the momentum going, like with both of us, like switching around and everything. Like we have power in the back row and we have power in the front row also. So.
What does a win like this do for you guys going forward? It's your first game at home, obviously a big win, big crowd. What does this do for you guys here the rest of the season?
I think it really shows us that, I mean, if we just stick with it, we make one more play than them, at the end of the day, we can win the game. You know, we can, go against the adversity and come back and win the game when we need to. So I think it just really shows that, if we push through things, we can get it done.
Overall, I'm happy with it. I mean, you always want to do better than you did, but at the end of the day, I'm proud of it. So it's kind of just improving each week. We're still kind of hitting really hard weeks just with training. So until the postseason. So I mean, like you said, it doesn't really matter. But you still want to have your personal improve each week. But yeah, so
I think we just decided to stay D2 for this week and know that when we're by ourselves, it's harder to fight. So next week with a bunch of people, it'll be exciting.
Beat my PR from last year, 16-16, but I didn't quite get there today. It's really humid. I kind of got in my head before like the 2 mile, and that just drained me. I mean, it's going to help out here in state for sure against those big teams in D2, but Coach did a mock meet for the Division II race, and we would have won with 20 points, so we weren't going to have much competition, so we decided to bump us up.
Teams focus on the run, and then you can light them up in the backfield. Is that what you guys want to do as the season continues?
Yeah, we have a bunch of great backs. Powie had a great game. Tristan Robeson, when he came down to get me for the interview, I was like, why aren't you getting Tristan? Tristan had those 2 touchdown runs, and it was only on a couple carries on the counters, but he played a great game. Powie played a great game. Luke Slosher had a great game. It was just all-around team performance, and yeah, that helps with us being balanced.
When did you guys discover that he could throw the ball 40 yards in the air?
Well, right into high school he could throw it that far. I mean, it's pretty insane. I don't know. I've never seen anybody else who can throw it that far. So we practice corner kicks and just aerial stuff, but we don't usually practice throw-ins very often.
There's no question that, in my mind, you were the player with the most energy throughout the entire duration of the match. So talk to me about your conditioning. I mean, does Coach Huff, he got you running a lot and you just don't get tired out there?
Yeah, we do work on conditioning a lot, and we do like runnings over the summer and like just stay conditioned all year round.
A mini clip from every interview that we do. Talk to a lot of athletes every week, so we're going to start bringing that to the podcast every week moving forward. I think it's going to be a good time for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. It's cool to see ones that you weren't at or just kind of catch up on some of the best answers these kids give.
Jaden Neal, I think, had maybe about the answer of the week for me when I gave her the opportunity to give a shout-out, and she's like, I think she didn't mean it this way, but she's like, I don't really know anybody who's watching, so. Okay.
Not sure where to go from there.
It was her first ever interview as a freshman. With time, she'll learn that maybe there's somebody out there that was cheering her on. All right, Hayden, I'm going to push the mic away from my mouth, and I'm going to let you take over.
Okay, well, I will also take us kind of back to the world of cross-country. Mine was a couple weekends ago, but I got to go over to Seneca East to one of the largest cross-country meets in the area. Over 75-plus schools gather for this meet, so there are loads and loads of talent spread out across the 3 divisions. They don't break it down by your school division. They break it down by color, orange, black, and white, and they just try and look at times and match it up to where they think it's going to be the most competitive, which I actually kind of like. I think it made the races more entertaining because there are some schools that, despite being D1, just may not have the competition level, so it's kind of a closer match to your talent. And the boys' race was extremely impressive. Riley Nixon from Ottawa Hills came in first with a time of 15:59. And then 2 kids from Mount Gilead followed behind him in second and third. It was Will Baker and Parker Bartlett. They went 16 and 16:23. So I know, Brian, and you and I were just talking about some of these times. I don't know if I could successfully run a mile in, like, even half that time. So I don't know. Very impressed by the competition that was out there. And then on the girls' side, Kennedy Schlesman from Huron actually broke the new course record for the girls' orange division with a time of 18:51. She broke a record that had been standing since 2016, so a very impressive day for her, Kennedy Schlesman. And then after that, it was Edison's Grace Anderson, 19 minutes and 3 seconds, and then Minerva's Hera Hoffey finished in third, 19 minutes and 13 seconds. So it was a really fun day, and as Storm brought up about his too, just some of the things you see at the finish lines of these, and not that they're trying to be rude, but it's pretty ruthless at the finish line too. You see kids almost starting to crawl on their hands and knees, want to buckle over, and they're just yanked off. They're like, get out of the way. And I understand it's for the other kids finishing, but it's just wild to see the finishes of these in the condition that the kids return in when they were all optimistic when they started. So that's kind of interesting. And then something we'll talk about coming up possibly this week is Seneca East hosts another one of the largest meets, if not the largest in the region, a night meet, Stars, Stripes, and Lights. So have a chance to be back over there. Brian, at least, you will be.
Looking forward to it.
So pretty cool event that they do. They do a nice job of putting things on, making sure that there's lots of areas that you can go spectate and such. And just really cool to give cross-country some coverage and some of the insane numbers these kids put up. And there was a lot of other stuff that I've done in the past few weeks. I didn't want to highlight every single thing because I was also at volleyball with GMan on Saturday to watch Lucas take that one. And then Friday night, I was at Colonel Crawford versus East Knox. And we know, if you watch the Friday night pigskin, you know how that one went. Running clock, East Knox lost 37-7. So the rest of my time that I wanted to fill is, I guess you could call it a game, but I really just kind of want to go around about things that went on, and I call it, I guess, the over or under game. And I want to make you guys pick, are you taking the over or under on certain things? And the first one I want to start off with is the Buckeyes. They opened up as a 44.5-point favorite over Arkansas State this weekend. Over or under, who are you taking? Are you taking them to score over that, Or I guess you could say exactly, but you can't score half a point. Taking over, under G-Man, let's start with you.
Over.
Over.
Because they got expectations now. I'll leave it at that. Over.
The over.
I'll also go with the over on this one.
Okay. I think that, G-Man, you drilled at the head of the nail. Obviously, it wasn't the fast-paced, extremely high-scoring offense that we're used to seeing, but I think against a team like Arkansas State, that might be the case. G-Man, this one's just for you. The Vikings finished 8-9 last season. Over or under 8 wins for Minnesota this season, and why?
Over. It won't be close. 11.
Ooh.
And they win the division.
Well, why?
Why?
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, why? Mike Zimmer's out of the building with one of the defensive supreme head coach that had one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Offense was top 5 in every statistical category. You got the best wide receiver in football, top 3 running back. Good luck. Good luck stopping that offense. Defense is going to be much better, too. They're winning the North.
Okay. I like the confidence. Storm, let's move to you. Detroit finished 3-13-1 last season. Over or under 3 wins for Detroit this season?
Over.
And if you can muster it up, why?
Under 1 tie. I'll go with the under half a tie.
Okay.
Over 3 wins, and it's simply just because the bar is set so drastically low. Like, I think we'd have to actively be trying to tank to not win at least 4 games this season.
Okay. Brian, I think you know where this is going. The Browns finished 8-9 last season. Over or under 8 wins for Cleveland, and why?
I can't not look at the roster and think that it's one of the 2 or 3 best rosters in the entire NFL. If we can get some solid quarterback play and avoid injuries, the Browns should be well over this. We have the best team in the division. We should win the North. I'm like G-Man. I feel like we're probably right around 11 wins if we can get some solid quarterback play. But the schedule, it's pretty winnable at the beginning of the year with the new guys like Brissett, and we'll see if Dobbs ends up getting his time.
Well, thank you for playing the first round of over and under. We'll see what happens.
love
It might take a while to get there, but we'll keep it fresh. We'll do some new ones every once in a while.
Thanks, Hayden. That was a lot of fun, man. Well, here on the OH.Report, we talk a lot about the high school ranks because that's kind of what we do. But I want to start off my 5 minutes by looking at some of the kids that we've covered in the high school ranks that are now showing out at the collegiate level. Go ahead. Spin the moving video. And how about our guy, the pride of Shelby, Ohio, Brennan Armstrong? The ginger power was on full display again. Dude went for 355 yards of offense, 3 total touchdowns, and in the process, he became UVA's career yards leader. So he's poised to break several more Cavaliers records in the coming weeks as well. Brennan Armstrong was awesome. I love that we have so many guys right now that are not just on teams, but contributing, like Cade Stover. A career night for him in the receiving game. 3 catches for the former Lexington standout. 21-10 victory for the Bucks. How about former Madison All-Ohioan Tyrell Ajon? He's become a fan favorite at Kentucky. He had 3 tackles and forced a fumble for the Cats. And this dude was huge. Angelo Gross of the TY Tigers, 11 tackles for them and a 35-13 victory over Michigan State. So you look at all those guys combining to really elevate their games at the next level. It's just dope to see. Speaking of elevating your game, how about going on to the pro level now? I know it's not NBA season yet, but the Cavs making a big move. Of course, over the weekend, they bring in all-star Donovan Mitchell. Storm, I'm going to start with you. I know you love your NBA hoops. Does this actually make Cleveland a championship contender to emerge from the East?
Well, to be honest, I don't really like the trade because they had something good going. They're going to force Donovan Mitchell into that situation with a bunch of young guys as opposed to letting them develop. It'll just be interesting. This is the biggest year of Darius Garland's career.
Sure.
Regardless of what he does, it will be the biggest year of Darius Garland's career ever. So, I don't know. It'll be weird. Donovan Mitchell, I'm not a believer, honestly. I really don't. I like Donovan Mitchell. I just don't think he's as good as everyone says he is. Because look at what he's done. I mean, Luka Doncic has just destroyed him in the playoffs like every year. So, I don't know. They gave up 2 unprotected first-round picks. Colin Sexton wanted out. No one's complaining about losing Lauri Markkanen, but Obachi, that's the thing. I can't believe that they had to give him up. So, I mean, only time will tell, honestly. But it's scary that this is a team with this much talent that could possibly only be playing for a playing spot.
You look at the backcourt with him and Garland, and then you put Okoro, Mobley. You can have Kevin Love in the front court with him. Obviously, Jared Allen. I think that there's so much depth on the team. I don't know if they're a championship contender, but I like their roster a lot better today than I did before they made the trade.
Well, that's no doubt. And sorry.
This is my 5 minutes.
I haven't talked the NBA in a while. It's just going to be weird because the East is so good. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, guys. Well, every year, Halloween seems to come earlier and earlier to my household, and no different this year. So I'm taking a little nap on Sunday, and next thing I know, surprise, I wake up, and here's a whole slice of pumpkin pie all around. We're approximately 60 days before Halloween, and my house is already Spookyville. Has my family jumped the gun on Halloween season? Hayden, is it too early?
I don't think so. The only thing that hurts when you're trying to mentally be prepared and in the mood for it is the random temperatures that we'll still get. You know, inevitably there's going to be a few days where we're still, 80, 85, and it's going to be like, darn. But I don't think it's too early because sometimes with those temperatures, seasons get cut short now if we go based off temperature. So you got to enjoy the time while you have it. And, I mean, I know how Jory is, so it's not too early. She's got to get that enjoyment in while she has it.
Yeah, it's going to be here for many days to come. All right, as G-Man brought up, just 3 days until the official start of the NFL season. Bills versus the defending champion Rams on Thursday night. G-Man, are those the two favorites in their conferences to make the Super Bowl this season?
The AFC is so hard to judge with, all the QBs. Well, just talk about the AFC West. Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes, obviously, can't forget about him. So the AFC is tough, but I do like the Bills. I like the revenge tour that they might be able to go on here. I don't like the Bengals at all to do what they do. I don't think they're getting that performance that they did last year. Plus, I think they play in a very tough division. I could see the Bills making it in the AFC, and I think the NFC is going to be a toss-up. I think it's going to be a dark horse team. I don't see the Rams making it. A lot of people like the Eagles. I'm not very high on Jalen Hurts, so I don't like that pick at all. I can't count out Tom Brady, so I could see Bucks, Bills, and some people say Green Bay. I'm not counting Green Bay because they're not winning our division. So I'll go Bills, Bucks will be mine.
All right, I'm going to take my remaining seconds and show you guys the greatest 2022 fantasy team on the planet. That's right. I'm in a 10-team league with some of my high school friends. It's so loaded that it feels like they took it easy on me because I took dead last. That's right. Just one win in fantasy football last year. G-Man, I already showed this to you. Storm, I don't think you play fantasy football. So, Hayden, when you look at this roster, does it seem too good to be true in my starting lineup? And, oh, wait, there's more. Once you get down to the bench, I got dudes stacked in there like Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy just waiting to get their opportunity to crack the starting five or get into that flex mold. Whew, it just seems like I got a lot of dudes. Is it too good to be true?
I have a lot of question marks to how this even happens.
Yeah, me too.
I'm in a league with fewer teams and don't even feel like I got this loaded of a lineup, but I do hope it works out for you. I know there's some guys that they question Saquon because he's injury prone, but I also have him on my team too. So
I also have him on my team.
We're all rooting for Saquon this year.
Saquon. All right, guys, that's it. I know that nobody likes talking about golf scores and other people's fantasy teams, but it was my 20 seconds. So cool. There we are. And, man, if I only win one game again in fantasy this year with that lineup, I just don't think I understand NFL football. Well, one thing that I usually never understand on the show is the viral videos that you need to see every single week. We get some crazy elements that come to the table. We actually do have a theme this week. Since we're kind of a sports program, OH.Report, that's what we do. We're going with all sports this week. We've each picked out one. I'll go ahead and lead off since it is tailor-made for exactly what I just showed you with fantasy football. So once you get a little bit more mature in age, gentlemen, you'll find out that you're trying to find special ways to still prove that you're an athlete or at least test yourself against some of your boys. And then when it comes to fantasy football, how do you decide who gets the first pick? There's always so much drama. It seems like, why does he get a pick first? Why did he get number second? So this is what these guys did. This is what they found. They do a draft combine to determine the order, and it's a little mixture of not just, drinking some whatever it is that they got in the cups, but then you got to showcase a little bit of athleticism. You got to hit the beer pong. You got to throw it through the dollhouse, and you got to get a cornhole in there. And then how about this? The speed at the end. Boom. This dude takes off. I almost thought that it was edited in full speed or at least 100 110%? Nah, that dude, he's just got some wheels.
I thought this was really interesting and unique, something that I might want to bring to the table with some of my friends.
I really like the idea.
Yeah, this is interesting. We usually just do random, but I've been thinking about doing something, and this makes me want to actually really do it now. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so it's a reason for the boys to get together, have a good time, and then, of course, it's competition, too.
Right.
So it's not just, hey, we're going to randomize who gets the number one pick. Nah, y'all's competing for it right here. This was really cool. I think this had over 1 million video views, and it was just put out yesterday. Well done, gentlemen. Who got next?
I'll go.
Right,
I'll go next. I really like this. Mine. I'll just go ahead and show it because it's kind of hard to explain.
That's good that you like it.
When a coach can go in the locker room and dance with players after a big win, I absolutely love that. Like, could you imagine like your coach walking in after a big win? I'm pretty sure this is a very high-scoring game too. This
was a good game.
Appalachian State.
The App State game, yeah.
Yeah, and that's Mac Brown. Didn't he used to coach at Texas?
He did for a long time.
He was gone for a while.
Then he was on ESPN. He was on the media, and now he's back doing this. In the
I
locker
love
room.
it. I love it. I feel that like now kind of getting a little serious. I think it builds like a lot of camaraderie, like as a team. But on a fun side, like that's hilarious. Like I couldn't imagine a coach walking in there and trying to. I don't even know what he's doing.
What?
I don't know if there's a name for that dance. That's definitely that's the Mac Brown special because that's
just it's like he's pointing.
It almost looks like he's casting a rod or I'm not really sure what. I got to give some credit, and he's not the only one who does this, but Roy Williams for North Carolina, he's been in his 70s. Yeah. He started doing this after every win at home where he would come in and do some type of bizarre dance. So it looks like now that Roy Boy is gone, that they're continuing the tradition in football. That's awesome to see. That's awesome. Hey, that looked like something there. But the first moves, bruh.
They're loving it.
I know. How could you not, dude? How could you not? All right, Hayden, go ahead.
Yeah, we got to leave Storm for last every time. Mine, it's not as good as the dancing one, but go ahead and roll it anyway. It's still a bit funny. This game overall was not very impressive. This whole game was honestly quite a viral video as a joke. Iowa only scoring 7 points against an FBS team, but this is the competition that they only scored 7 points on. Back of the end zone. And I think this ball goes
blast off.
They didn't even score a touchdown, did they?
Nope.
What was it? Was it
two
safeties
and a field goal?
Wow.
I don't know what that's saying about Iowa, but
what did they do? Recruit Travis to kick for him?
San Diego State, I think this is, or South Dakota.
Jack Rabbits.
Yeah. Nah. Sick punt. That's all.
Getting good field position too. They didn't even score a touchdown with it.
No.
This is unfortunately, this is giving me Mansfield Senior vibes against Massillon. This is what it looked like all night. So the fact that we're showing this like as a funny video, come on, La and Tigers, we got to get that kicking game strong.
I can't remember who it was last year, but I saw a negative punt. That's like
that's impressive.
Yeah. But
and not in the right ways.
Fun, yeah.
All right, Storm, what do you got for us?
So mine, I don't know about mine this week.
Oh,
it's not like a.
He's usually so confident when he comes in on me.
To one area.
It's the sports one, yeah. You guys put me in a corner, but I actually do have some rare footage.
Okay.
There's actually been some surface video recently of LeBron in middle school. Some
nice.
LeBron footage. So this is actually a pretty rare video, I think. Let's go ahead and roll it. So there he is right there. He's in the black tank top. He's taking it on the fast break. Check that out. Wow. Yep, there he is in the black tank top again with the white socks.
So it's like 6th grade LeBron?
Yeah, he's been killing it ever since he was just young.
A great pass.
So that's
crossover too.
Pretty rare footage of LeBron in middle school right here in Ohio.
Wow. Could you imagine?
No.
Off the back, big word.
Well, he hit his growth spurt early. So the rest of the people kind of leveled out once he got into high school, but he hit his growth spurt way early.
Dang, so yeah, he peaked like right away.
Yeah.
The best part is that poor kid genuinely trying to guard him.
I know.
I mean, he's trying
I guess that's
to
more what I
lock
meant.
him
Like,
down.
could you imagine, like, if this bullet train's coming at you?
Gets put on skates.
Yeah, someone's got to step in and
trying.
take a charge, though.
He's trying. I think he does take a charge here.
Oh.
If I'm the coach, you got to step in and take a charge, man. Like, look at this.
We got to pick up ball.
Look at the kid in the black at the bottom of the screen.
That should be an easy steal. Their eyes are at ball level.
At least he gets his head around, he gets his hips there, and then just
where does that kid go? He like teleports.
Gone. Yeah.
So I thought I'd share that.
You still did good, Storm.
Classic Storm video. All right, guys, we got a lot of videos coming up in the live stream in highlight fashion on the OH.Report this week. You want to share with the folks out there in YouTube and Facebook land where we're going to be? Check this out. Hey, lots of football games, of course, coming up on Friday night. Look at all the live games. I can't wait to see if Crestview's just going to continue to romp. Is Addison Raymer going to score 4 touchdowns every week? Find out live and free. How about Ashland? Can they make it 3 wins in a row? I buried them after week 1 and how pathetic they looked on the road against Norway. They're starting to get it together. Mansfield Senior didn't look very good against Ashland. Shut out again by the TI Tigers, but an even tougher test, arguably. West Holmes is ranked, what, number 1 in the polls in D3, did you say? Hayden?
Yeah, they were up there on the Martin RPI football poll.
Man. So that's going to be a great test. Clear Fork, they're going to be back at the Colt Corral taking on River Valley. And East Knox on the road at Centerburg. So the Dogs, maybe without Cole DeLauder now? It could be a long season for them, and I don't think any of us anticipated that.
No, I thought East Knox was going to be one of the better teams in the KMAC, really, to say the least. I was kind of shocked when I seen them in person against Crestview, and if that is true, Brian, that Cole DeLauder is out, it's going to be an even more of an uphill battle for them to get back on track.
And then how about the undefeated Northmore Golden Knights? Nobody really projected this. Travis is going to say nice things about them no matter what, so you take that with a grain of salt. He did think, hey, with Max and Lauer being like the showcase in the backfield, it might work out.
I actually want to take responsibility for this because I picked him to win the KMAC on my show.
Okay.
So I've been on the Golden Knights.
I can confirm also, I'll let them remain nameless, but someone not named Travis, not at the OH.Report here, that covers a lot of KMAC, did say Northmore has emerged as their front runner. So we'll see.
It was Travis.
Could be.
All right, then we'll have a couple of highlights for you guys as well. Galleon coming off of that emotional win. Can they make it 2 in a row? They will be at home against Harding. And then the Shelby Whippets just suffered their first loss of the season. Do they bounce back against Pleasant? Soccer action coming up this week. We got a couple of games on Thursday that you can check out. We've got a live game, Mansfield Christian at Crestview, ladies action. Maybe, I know there's a doubleheader that night where the boys play right after, so we could have back-to-back games on that night. We'll see if we can make that happen. And then Bay versus Lexington. Storm, is that you that's going to be at that one?
That one's GMan, I'm pretty sure. I'm at the Ashland game.
So you're going to get to see Lexington, who actually, they just suffered a defeat against Ashland. They felt like they had things rocking and rolling going against, probably the best team in D2.
And a team that they can never really get over the hump over, too. So Bay, coming into Lexington, a team that they might struggle against. I don't know. It's going to be a fun matchup. I haven't got to see any of boys soccer here so far this year, so I'm excited to get back out there on the pitch and to see some soccer.
Then our volleyball schedule. Leaning in here, taking it out.
Yeah, go ahead, Storm. Take over.
All right, well, on Tuesday the 6th, a live stream, Loudonville at Lucas. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then a game that me and G-Man will be at, Seneca East versus Buckeye Central. We're going to be at that one, Garrett. First time doing commentary for you right on volleyball. No, you did it.
Try match, but first time with you. So it's kind of an experience. Still kind of learning, because some of the terms and stuff. But Buckeye Central, I believe they've won that conference for 3 or 4 years in a row. So they're pretty dominant up there. But we'll see if they can get a test on Tuesday night.
We got one game on Thursday. That's Danville versus Northmore. I'm sure Travis is at that game. And
yep.
He's going to have a lot of fun. And wrapping things up Saturday, Madison versus Clear Fork. Sorry, guys. This is me. I'm stepping into a new role reading the schedule. I've never done it before. So.
Oh, look at him.
Yeah, I found this.
He's crappy at fantasy football.
I'm in a safeties-only league.
How do you come in last in a touchdown-only league? I feel like
that's
I could
impressive.
Even manage to not come in last in a touchdown-only league.
What's a touchdown league? Why are you running a touchdown league, Trav?
It's lame, but hey,
that's where he's at.
Yeah. So are some of the people that compete in that league. So, for all of us here at the OH.Report, including stick figure Travis, and that is a stick figure version of him. Keep that in mind with the proportions.
Jeez.
Just want to wish you all a happy Labor Day. Don't do too much. Kick back. That's what it's all about. We all work hard enough as Americans that we deserve a day to kind of unwind a little bit. So, not us. Well, we got to keep you entertained, but the rest of y'all, enjoy. See you at a live stream or a highlight all week long.